Today, a 2006 Puer. Now it's old, but it's not. It wasn't expensive. I got it free with a very large order of tea. I think November of last November. I think it's $80 if you pay cash for it. Here it is. What's it's of course round when I started on it. You just pry a little bit of it off and put it in your cup and hope for the best. So let's go. I'm also drinking tea immediately out of bed because this is another no horsing around day for me. Because all I do is horse around. Well, no, I horse around about 45 minutes of. And that is not, Facebook horsing around. That's, I'll get hyper focused on like one little bit of code and which will work fine, but I'll think, oh, there's a better way to do that, and somebody might look at my code, which is true, but unlikely. And I don't want them to see that I didn't know how to do this better, whatever. And, just the challenge of it also. Although I went a little long on that. This needed a little bit to, okay. First thing I thought of was cherries. This is nice. It has a something in the direction, again, of musky cologne. Spice. Let me see if I can say what kind of spice. Okay, I got a image of these little toy army men that we used to play with in the sandbox. And oftentimes with aged tea, the thought is old. Whether that's actual or just in your mind, I don't think it matters. Often there will be a wood aroma, and that will remind me of a chest of old clothes, but I should talk about this what's happening now. I couldn't place it. This came apart pretty well. I'm not patient enough to pry off individual leaves like many people can. That was longer steep than most people would do. I think I have more than, my digital scale got wet. So I have to guess at the weight of the tea, which is often difficult because it's different densities. The density varies quite a bit. This was actually the tea that I was thinking of yesterday when I said, well, some teas are just kind of dirty brown. That looks exactly like Lipton tea. Which I always have to say, I love in sun tea, iced tea, sweet tea. Okay, now that had Again, I'm getting stone fruit, but not cherries, but more of a like the peach kind of thing. Yeah, these aromas that you hear me talk about, sometimes they'll, oh wow, this smells exactly like this. I think yesterday I had something that I realized what I think that was taste. I realized what I was tasting was chamomile, a little bit honey-like, a little bit flowery. Here we go. All right. Um, let's see here. This is. I usually just either drink around the little pieces well, no, I actually use this quite a bit now, but I didn't until a year ago. I would just drink around the small pieces or let them slide down the throat. Egg. Also, some sort of chemical generally. Oh, you know what it is? It's the shape of eggs. Because the pointy side, it was a field of eggs with the pointy side up. This, I guess I just found out, or maybe I knew before. My birth half sister and birth mom also have synesthesia. With my half sister, it's colors and music. Me and my birth mom Julie talk all the time, and so it's kind of hard to remember specifics sometimes because we'll just what is hers? But mine is I sometimes very clearly see shapes associated with flavors. And with tea, it's usually, the different shapes are usually different shapes of regular bumps or regularly aligned oval objects, with maybe a little bit of wave to it, like it's on a hill, like on a Grantwood Hill, or like I was saying, you could tell me that this is not tea. It's something that some culture drinks, or something that's supposed to be good for you in China, or it's reminding me more of the what I think of as the stem of within the leaf than the leaf itself. Maybe that's because, okay, I'm going to look for something in the straw or hay. I guess that's the same. What do I think of straw? No, I think of hay is a little dusty. And there again, the dusty, that's a visual thing in my mind. I'm not sure if I could explain it if it has colors. It never has like green, blue, purple, red. It's always like two colors, monochromatic, just black and white. Although it maybe seems like the color of the back of your, but I'm not seeing it on my retina. But okay, I'm not seeing it at all there. I have to wait. Okay, let me. Now, I've not talked about this until I started, while it's happening until, well, let's see what happens. Whether it's because I already said it or because I just got the same thing again. Yes, this field of chicken eggs with the pointy side up. I'm getting that wonderful calm. I'm stimulated, but I feel like just sitting here and enjoying it. That kind of tea feeling. I should say there's no, well, there's a little bit of bitterness, but there's a noticeable lack of bitterness, almost so that I'm realizing that, oh yeah, every time I drink tea, there's a bitterness that just comes with it. You know, again, round. One thing nice. Okay, I judged pretty well. These are expanded, and they expanded up to about what I want. There, you see there. Let's see if this is a stem itself. Actually, yeah, this feels like a stem. This is a stem here. Puer, the processors pick different grades of leaves to get a balance they want. Sometimes even from different tea harvests. But when I say different grades, I mean different parts of the tea plant that the leaf has been picked off of. Which of course also means the leaves are of a different age. And now I'm getting a sweeter thing. The interesting thing is there's not a lot of you know what? Maybe bread. Maybe it's a little yeasty. Okay, that's it. Bread. Let's see if I can. Let's see what that brings. So what I mean by that is it's bread. The sip might remind me of a cinnamon roll or a donut with toasted sliced almonds on it. That would be something that's happening in my mind. That's not happening in my tongue. Learning to identify the flavors. I wish I could get. I will get a ultra close up of this someday. But just the way the surface tension of the water is different than regular water. Okay, before I haven't enjoyed this as much as this session, and I would say that's because it doesn't have a lot of flavor compared to other teas. It's subtle, and what it does have is not necessarily tea-like. It does have an astringency, which is different from bitterness in that astringent tastes or chemicals make your tongue feel like it's shrinking or the skin is tightening up on it. It's a drying feeling, just like an astringent that you buy in the pharmacy. Like witch hazel, that actually, draws a little bit of water, as I understand it, out of your skin. the rubbing alcohol also. Now, I'm not saying it tastes like those things. I'm saying it makes my tongue feel like those things. Yeah, it reminds me of it's a little yeasty and bready, and for me that is bringing not the synesthesia image, but the memory image of my mom baking bread, homemade bread. I would say that this is what. I forget how. This is what steepings 5 and 6 did I do there? It is more astringent than the first few, and also sweeter. Here, what do you think? We win. Come here. What does it smell like to you? Do you like the bouquet? Can you tell this is from 2006? This is the oldest one we have. So doing tea math in my head, grams, tea cakes for whatever reason of Puer are usually 357 grams, just like the 357 Magnum. It also, what I forget, is it 255 days in a quarter? Or no, it's pretty close to the number of days in the year. Okay, there I went straight to the cup. So this would be, and I see the little bubbles on here. I see the surface tension a little different than water would be. I've never just added a little bit of sugar to water and looked at it to see what it looked like compared to tea. Wow, I think I might have overdone the caffeine. I haven't had this one in a while. I feel fine, but it's coming on like it might be one of these jumpy, nervous things. Puer, I don't know what's going on with it, but it does seem to have a different intoxicating effect sometimes. Some people will tell you it's because of a tiny amount of poisonous chemicals that the bacteria and molds produce. That's plausible. I've seen scientific studies that do identify some of these chemicals. And like the pufferfish poison, it could have a psychological effect in small quantities. Or not psychological, but physiological in the brain. I think the egg is actually a flavor. That might be why the shape came to my mind. Eggy. What is eggy? Okay, right there. Okay, I could say, okay, this is the mind experience that I'm having with this tea right now. Actually, and it's an Asian thing. If you remember Asian bakery, I forget what they're called steamed buns. I'm not sure how they make them, but the ones that are brown, I don't know if those are steamed though. But the outside of it, sometimes you paint egg yolk on bread to make it brown up. This is what comes to mind is what that outer surface of a steamed, is it steamed roll or do they make baked ones? I don't know. I haven't had it in a while. I live in the Twin Cities, and maybe it's different now, but as of like 10, 15 years ago, the people that I believe know Chinese food well say there wasn't a lot of restaurants that were really authentic. There's one on University Avenue now that has both the Americanized version and some things like you would get if you went to China. I'll maybe talk about that another time. The history of Chinese restaurants in the United States is really fascinating. Actually, honestly, to tell you, I am noticing there's less of the flavor and more of the astringency. Eggy, eggy, eggy. This is really eggy. I'm gonna look this up online, see if anybody else gets that. I'm not saying it tastes like eggs. It's in that direction. Just like a egg yolk glaze. And bread dough. So also, by extension, some wheat graininess, and actually, it tastes more like flour than like if you took a handful of wheat berries. Okay, now the buzz is getting like the relaxed feeling again. What happened a couple minutes ago? I started feeling a little speedy. I've done recreational stimulants in my past. Not a lot. I've tried them, I should say. Just like cocaine. I don't like it at all. I think I've done it like twice, and then maybe once that was I don't even remember. More than once. I think twice though. It just makes it made me sweat and feel queasy and nervous too. There was a kids, don't do drugs. If you get into tea, you might say like, why would I need anything else other than tea? Why would I need to alter my consciousness in anything? And again, the smell. Okay, I got powdery there, very powdery. And there I can't tell if it's some sort of actual powder thing that I've experienced in my past that this is reminding me of, or if it's this shape thing. My sense of shape tastes is often something that is on the surface of the objects, a powdery. Sometimes it'll be a little bumpy. I don't know how you would do it, but I wonder if, no, I bet you couldn't do that. I was speculating in my mind of whether one could deliver whatever chemicals are in, I didn't steep that one long enough, in the tea without drinking the tea to isolate if there is a psychological effect. And you could have caffeine pills and do it with that, and then you could, I've never eaten Puer. It's 3 grams. That might make your stomach, I don't know. But it'd be interesting to do a blind test where you take a capsule of Puer in a capsule that's just estimated to be about the same amount of caffeine, and see if you can tell the difference. I'm just really fascinated by the way that, would that be water is more viscous or less viscous? You know, I look at the red button when I'm talking to the camera, sort of like I'm talking to somebody next to you. I see a lot of YouTubers and video people, they look right at the camera part of the camera. I don't know, what do you like? What am I supposed to do? Does it make you freak you out does it freak you out that I'm always talking to somebody that's like sitting really close to you that's not there? Okay, I'm coughing because I have acid reflux, and a pill container that I don't always fill up, and I just think that I'm smart enough to remember if I've taken my pill or not. Okay, now that flavor, okay, let's see what happens. It's a very, very strong flavor of the pill. It's kind of cool that talking about remembering if you took your pill, this must be intentional. They flavor it so you can really remember if you've had it in your mouth or not. Whether that's intentional or not, that's what I do. I go, okay, have I tasted that flavor today yet? So what I'm going to do is I see it right there, and I've lined up my pill bottles outside of it. I have two like prescribed drugs. So I'm going to put those out. Well, actually the Meprazole is prescribed too, but it's over the counter. Yeah, and you know, it would actually be cheaper. Why don't I do that? I should talk out loud more often. I should let my health insurance give me pay for a prescription for that, because the copay would be less than, you know. And when you're buying tea that you could, you know, it's like $2 or $3 a serving, you know. You can maybe pinch pennies and justify that other. Wow, this is almost a half hour. I certainly don't have a lack for words about tea, at least. Okay, no, I'm not going to do any other. I'm going to come back to this later in the afternoon with hotter water, and that will help. Susan's almost all the way full up to the top now, once the leaves have fully expanded. I just pried a chunk off again, so I'm not gonna have any whole leaves, but maybe I could look for some whole leaves to. I don't know why we tea people do that. You know, of course they're leaves, but sometimes when you're done with them, it's fun to unroll that and make sure that was a leaf in there. All right. See you later. Subscribe if you like this, you know, and please, like, this idea about we drink the same tea in a split screen. Let's do that soon. So make a comment, follow me, be my tea friend, or if you're just tea curious, also just keep on looking at me. You'll eventually think like, okay, I got to try this stuff. Bye-bye.